For about 70 years, the deal was pretty simple. You worked, you got money, you gave that money to a company, and they gave you a thing. And then they went away. They didn't come back next month asking for more money, and they didn't threaten to turn that thing off if you stopped paying. You walked out of the store, and the transaction was over. You were the owner. But now, that deal is dead. We have quietly replaced the economy of ownership with the economy of usership. And the biggest companies in the world have realized something terrifying about their business models. They realize that selling you stuff is actually a terrible way to make money, and that selling you a product is a one-time event. It's finite. Renting you your existence, that is a gold mine. We are going to look at the specific business incentives that make it inevitable. And we are going to look at why. If you don't start paying attention right now, you are going to wake up in 20 years having paid millions of dollars to own absolutely nothing. Own nothing and be happy. To understand how we lost our stuff, we have to go back to 2013. We have to talk about a piece of software called Photoshop. And I know software sounds dry, boring, but the death of the box copy of Photoshop was a canary in the coal mine. It was the catalyst. It changed the way every CEO in Silicon Valley thought about your wallet. And before 2013, the economy ran on the transaction model. Basically, if you wanted Photoshop, you went to a store and you bought a box, and it cost you $600. It was expensive, sure, but inside the box was a disc. And you took that disc home, installed it, and owned it. It was yours, and you could use it for 10 years. And Adobe hated this. And their CFO looked at the numbers and saw a nightmare. And to make money that year, they would have to go out and hustle. They had to find new customers, or even harder, they had to convince their old customers to buy the same box yet again. And since the old box worked fine, most people just said no. In this transaction economy, the customer has the leverage, and the company has to earn your money every single time. So in 2013, Adobe did the unthinkable. They announced they were killing the box, and they launched what we know now as Creative Cloud. And you couldn't buy Photoshop anymore, you had to rent it $20 a month forever. And since then, the stock market has gone vertical. And Wall Street fell in love. They found a new drug called ARR, annual recurring revenue. And investors realized that a company with subscribers is worth 10 times more than a company with customers. You see, in the eyes of a bank, a customer is a variable. They are unpredictable. But a subscriber is annuity. A subscriber is a guaranteed stream of cash that flows into the corporate bank account every 30 days until either the subscriber dies or remembers to cancel. And here's the dark truth. People rarely cancel because we are lazy. We are forgetful, and once we put a card on file, we tend to just leave it there. And once Wall Street saw the math, this whole business model, it spread. Microsoft moved Office to a subscription, Apple launched Apple Music, video game companies launched Game Passes. And the goal of a corporation changed overnight. They needed to trap you inside their ecosystem and keep their profits going. And this is where the you will own nothing concept stops being a metaphor and starts becoming a reality. Let's talk about tractors. John Deere makes the most famous tractors in the world, and for a century, the deal was pretty simple. A farmer buys a tractor, the farmer owns the tractor, and if it breaks, the farmer fixes it with a wrench. But modern tractors, they are computers on wheels. John Deere's lawyers realized that they could use copyright law to change the deal. The soul of the tractor is the software that makes the engine run, and that belongs to John Deere. And the farmer is just licensing it. So what happens when a sensor breaks? While the farmer owns the hood, they see the broken part. It's a $10 sensor, and they could swap it out in 10 minutes, but they can't because the software has a lock. If they try to replace the part, the computer says, unauthorized repair, an engine won't start. And they have to call an authorized dealer, and they have to wait for a technician. And this is what we call tethered goods. It's because the product is tethered to the manufacturer. And we are seeing this everywhere now. HP printers are the most aggressive example. They have a service called Instant Ink. You pay a monthly fee and they mail you cartridges. And it sounds convenient, but read the fine print. Cartridges have a chip in them. If you cancel your subscription, your cartridges stop working. Even if they are full, even if they are sitting in your printer right now, the printer checks your account status, sees that you stopped paying, and refuses to print your boarding pass. And you have the paper, you have the machine, you have the ink, and you can't print because you stopped paying rent to HP. In this world, you are never the owner, you are the renter. You are holding the device for that company. and you are paying for the privilege of storing their hardware in your house. So why do we let this happen? Well, it's because human brains are easily hacked. Corporations understand behavioral psychology, and they know about price partitioning. If I try to sell you a video game for $500, you'll just laugh. But if I tell you that you can play this game for $15 a month, you will say that's pretty reasonable. And it's the same game, but the $15 feels like a cup of coffee, and it feels pretty negligible. But if you play a game for 3 years, you have paid $540. And here's the kicker. At the end of 3 years, you own nothing. And this model hides the true cost of living, and it breaks huge expenses into small, tiny, digestible bites you'll forget about. We suffer from subscription fatigue. A recent study shows that the average consumer underestimates their monthly subscription spending by nearly 200%. That means people think they're spending $50 a month when they're actually spending $150. And we see this everywhere now. We sign up for a free trial, you forget, you see the change and you think, I'll cancel later, and then you don't. And this is pretty much the gym membership model applied to the entire economy and our lives. Gyms make money because people sign up and don't show up. And they are betting on your laziness. And now this extends to Netflix, the New York Times, and your heated seats in your Mercedes. And you might say, okay, so I pay $15 here, 10 there, who cares? It's convenient. But let's do the math, because this is where the you will own nothing model stops being annoying and starts being catastrophic. Let's take a standard American subscriber. Let's look at their monthly bill. Streaming, that's your Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, $60. Spotify, $15. iCloud storage, $10. Fitness apps or a gym, $50. Meal delivery, $100. Software and productivity, $20. Amazon Prime, $15. Carly's Premium, $200. And that is nearly $470 a month. And that $470 disappears every single month. And it doesn't leave you with anything. And it doesn't build equity, it's just money set on fire. Now imagine if you did something else with that money. What if you took a run in the park, cooked your own food, bought a hard drive for your photos, or drive a paid off car? You take that $470 a month and you put it in the S&P 500 index fund, which historically returns about 10% per year. In 10 years, you have $95,000. In 20 years, thanks to compound interest, you have $320,000. And in 30 years, you have $950,000. You have nearly $1 million. And that is the convenience of the subscription life costing you more than $1 million over your lifetime. And that's also the difference between retiring at 60 or working for the rest of your life. And the subscription model, it masks inflation. If Netflix goes up $2, you don't cancel it. But when everything goes up by a little bit every year, your ability to buy everyday things goes down. And it prevents you from saving. And without saving, you have no freedom. In the financial independence community, there is a golden multiplier called the Rule of 173. It's a shortcut that reveals the true cost of your habits. And the math is pretty simple. Take any monthly expense and multiply it by 173. And that is what the actual item costs you over 10 years if you had invested that money in the S&P 500. Netflix standard plan, $15.49 a month. To your brain, that's a sandwich, but apply the rule of 173, and that is $2,679. That Netflix account isn't $15, it's a round trip to Japan. Spotify Premium, $11.99 a month. Multiply that by 173, and that is $2,074. That is a brand new MacBook Pro, gone. Just to listen to music you could listen to with ads. That $10 Battle Pass, that is $1,730. And that's nearly 1/3 of a fully funded Roth IRA for the year. You are literally trading your retirement for a skin in a video game. And the point isn't that you shouldn't have Netflix or Spotify. The point is that subscriptions are the termites of your wealth. One termite is fine, but most of us have 10. Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Game Pass, Discord Nitro, gym membership, Loot Crate. Even if you have just $100 in monthly subscriptions, which is average for a millennial, multiply that by 173. And that is $17,000 in lost wealth every decade. That's a down payment on a house, that's a wedding, and that is your freedom, and you gave it away $10 at a time. But as much as it's about the things we buy, it's also how we think. We have to realize that convenience is a big trap, and convenience is the bait. We are sold the idea of convenience, and really, we just have to accept a little bit of friction in our lives. Backing up your photos to a hard drive is harder than paying for iCloud, and fixing your dishwasher is harder than calling a guy. So how do we get out of this mess? Well, one, do an audit. Open your bank account, find every recurring charge, and ask yourself, does this bring me joy or does it just prevent pain? And if it's the latter, cancel it. Take that money and invest the rest. You can also use apps like Rocket Money to easily check your subscriptions. And of course, Rocket Money requires a subscription, but it's all about opportunity cost. And next, buy dumb tech. Do you need a refrigerator with a touchscreen? Probably not. All you really need is to keep the milk cold, and the touchscreen will break in 3 years, but the compressor will last 20. So buy the dumbest appliances you can find. They have fewer points of failure and will last you a lot longer than some high-tech gadget. We continue to rent from companies and owe nothing. But you will not be happy, and you will be anxious and be financially fragile. And having ownership isn't about greed. And it's not just about hoarding stuff or just owning your own products. It's more about being in control of your own life. Whether it's owning your own home, whether it's owning your own tools, so own something and be happy. And that's it. Let me know what you think about subscriptions and the world we live in that's quietly draining our lives and wallets in the comments below. And if you enjoy videos like this blend of pop culture, finance, and consumerism, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos. Thank you very much for watching. Subscriptions are everywhere, and even for things that shouldn't even be a subscription. So check out why so many people are spending and financing thousands of dollars all for a few days of happiness at Disney.